Alright, and match number 5, we won a dice roll. We got 2 creatures, 3/1 cost burn spells. Seems good. Let's go Foothills, Blood Crypt, Lavamancer. Because there's a decent chance my opponent is playing an aggro deck. There are many aggro decks. And turn 1 Lavamancer just does so much work against them. Alright, let's pay 2 life. Let's Spark Elemental. And we'll hold up Lavamancer. Lavamancer does some good work against Tarmogoyf and the Scavenging Ooze. At the end of his turn, I'll Lavamancer him if he doesn't do anything. And I'll untap and I'll suspend 2 Rift Bolts. Let's go to the face. Let's see if he kills the Lavamancer here. If he does, then that'll open him up for a top decked haste creature. Alright, well, I want to get these bolts out of my hand. These bumps, I mean. So we'll do this, we'll do this. At this point, I'm not sure how we lose this game. I'm going to discard the bump. So he'll be at 1, essentially, and be unable to crack any fetch lands. Well, I could discard the Rift Bolt. I could just bump him here and spike him here, and do the 3 damage immediately rather than waiting on the suspension of the Rift Bolt. Alright. We'll discard Rift Bolt. Alright, Rift Bolt to the face. Nope. Alright, good. We wanted to draw a land there. Bump you. Spike you. Yeah, there's many reasons we wanted to draw a land there. First of all, so we're not discarding a burn spell to Lily. Second of all, if he does ultimate this, it gives us that extra land in play. Alright, well, let's just see. Plus I can build up towards bump if it comes to that. If I just have a string of drawing 3 land in a row or something. Why would you discard this? Alright. Well, even a haste creature would have killed him there, and I played many haste creatures. He played a fetch land rather than discarding it to Lily. Maybe he's just going to ultimate, I don't know. If I'm him, I'm just animating and attacking, and just crossing my fingers that the burn player doesn't draw a burn spell for next turn. Because, I mean, he's got me on a 2-turn clock here. He should ultimate Lily, try and separate my lands. He probably puts some value on the Stomping Ground, but only I know that there's no green spells in the main deck. Alright, and sideboarding. -3 Searing Blaze. -2 Forked Bolt. -3 Grim Lavamancer. +4 Atarka's Commands, Skullcrack, and Self-Inflicted Wounds. What is up with these 4 landers in my 19 land deck? Come on now. Sure. We'll put it on top. We're fetching for a mountain and Swift Spear. Alright, no bolt and no discard spell. So, what is in his hand that he kept a 7 with no bolt and no discard spell? Must have a good sideboard card in his hand, like Feed the Clan or Kitchen Finks or something. One of the reasons I like the Atarka's Command out of the sideboard in these grind out matchups is because of Atarka's Command really does 2 things. It's just Skullcrack's numbers 5 through 8. But on top of that, it allows me to dump creatures that I don't want for spells that they can't interact with. Like creatures, you go up against Jund, they're just going to kill every creature you play. So creatures are unreliable. But like, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought when my opponent played a Dark Confidant against me. My opponent just played a Dark Confidant. Post sideboard. Take 3 for that Lily that you wanted so badly. So my opponent had no discard spell, no bolt in their opening hand, and they had a turn 2 Dark Confidant. Against the burn deck. That is a new strategy. That is definitely a new strategy. So with 2 Rift Bolts, essentially he's at 8. If he doesn't make me discard this Shard Volley, he's essentially at 5. And he is probably going to be in a situation where he has to sacrifice his own Confidant or kill it somehow. I don't know. I just... He played a turn 2 Bob. It's just hilarious. Alright, a fetch land. He's going to deal himself even more damage. Let's see if he shocks himself for a Blood Crypt. No. Nope, no shock. Liliana? Colligan's Command. I will be happy to discard this Bloodstained Mire. Okay. Bolt to the face. Bolt to the face. Spark Elemental, you're my favorite. I love Spark Elemental. Oh man, my opponent has dealt himself 5 damage from Bob. I might just not even ever cast this Shard Volley. I just might let his own Bob kill him. I will just sit here and do nothing and just load up on burn spells in my hand and just let his Bob kill him. I'm really not sure what hand he kept over there. A 7-card hand with no discard spell, no bolt, and a Bob. That is amazing. I'm fortunate. See, when I take out creatures against the, like, Jund and whatnot, you know, cards that they might leave in to clog the ground up, you know, because this blocks. I mean, it blocks Goblin Guide, it blocks Eidolon. Um, you know, maybe he put it in here as a turn 2 blocker. Um, you know, so, but the thing is though, is that like against Jund, I go to a much more spell-based game with taking out the Lavamancers. And it's not unheard of for me to take out my Goblin Guides too. In this case, maybe I would take out my Spark Elementals, but for additional burn spells. Like I could have left in the forked bolts or something like that. Alright, well, I'm just going to shard volley you and get this over with. Alright, so we went 4-1 in this league with my new brand of burn. The burn matchup seemed a little rough because we had no lightning helixes, but he never cast a lightning helix either. I just think he drew a little bit better than we did. And he might have even been mono red, maybe only splashing like a very mild splash for the sideboard or something like that. But it looked like he was mono red. So I think we took some damage off of a fetch land for the Blood Crypt in order to cast a bump in the night. I'm not sure that that made the difference in the game, though. I just think that he had a very aggressive draw with Searing Blaze. We played 2 games, and he played Creature turn 1, Searing Blaze turn 2, followed up by more creatures, and so... anyway, I think this deck is quite good, this burn deck. It would have been nice to have drawn a Bloodchief Ascension in the burn matchup just to see how well it did, or just play in a matchup where the Bloodchief Ascension would have mattered. For instance, against Jeskai or Dredge, or Grixis or Ad Nauseam, Scapeshift are a few of the matchups that I would bring in the Bloodchief Ascension for. But anyway, that's the deck. If you've got any thoughts, let me know.